Hello, everybody, whoever is here. Me sitting here in my bad posture. Hello to everyone who decides to pop in. Let me know if y'all can hear me, because it should be all set. It should be good, but, you know. You know. Alright. Well, good evening, Galaxy Studios. Thank you for popping in yet again. I've got a nice cup of green tea here to get me through this hellscape that is Iron Flame. I almost said Fourth Wing. Oh, what happened last time? Bunch of nonsense. Let's see. Last time I streamed, so it was yesterday, so things are kind of fresh in my mind. Zayden and Violet are like kind of making up, sort of. Oh, awesome! You can hear me. Cool, cool. Varish is trying to kill Violet. Everyone kissed Violet's ass a bit. The last chapter we read was chapter 24. So if anybody is happening to follow along to this travesty, we are on chapter 25, page 234. So that's where we're at. Let me try this tea. Hang on. Pretty good. It's pretty soothing, pretty calming. I think Uncle Iroh would like that. Okay. Let's just hop right into it and get started, shall we? So we're on chapter 25. Oh yeah. During the torture games or whatever. So yeah, during the torture games, Dane showed up and Varish wanted him to torture Violet or like look in her brain for information. Dane refused. Find out that Varish is Dane's personal teacher. Oh, and I guess Rhiannon is almost gonna find out what's going on. And oh god, what was the last thing? Oh, they think they're purposefully trying to kill everyone that saw the wyverns and the venin. I think that's everything. So let's read some of this book until I can't read any more of this book. Okay, so we'll get our little quote here. Our little epitaph thing here. So let's see. If we ever choose to invade enemy territory, which we don't, I would choose Zolia as my first target. Take out Cliffsbane Academy, and you take out years of Griffin Riders in one strike. Tactics, a personal memoir by Lieutenant Lyron Panchek. Okay. Again, half of these things mean nothing, so they usually are like filler to... they're just filler. They're not even like real world building things. So, yes, this is the real torture. All right, let's just... Oh yeah, and then they're gonna escape the torture chamber because Varish means to torture and kill Violet for reals. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, her knives magically unlock the doors. The knives that Zayden gave her. The knives with the runes. The knives with the runes for Cusco. Those knives. She like name drops the different gods in here. She's like, I'd rather visit Malik than go back into that chamber. Like they like she drops these gods in here randomly, but we don't know anything about these gods or what their religious system is like. It's like the very bare minimum trying to world build, like trying to give you the feeling of fantasy, but it's not really fantasy. It's pretty blah. So anytime she's like mentions any of these gods, I'm like, ugh, blah. Actually tell me who the gods are and how significant they are and blah blah blah, because we don't get any of that. So really, like, when she mentions the gods, like it just kind of sticks out as just like crappy world building. Anyway. People just drop like flies and everyone like kind of pretends to be sad about it, but there's no real impact on anyone like actually being sad. Like, people just die and no one really cares, but like the author is trying to make you think like everyone does care, but they don't, because it's just one line of so and so died. Oh, that person? Oh, that's sad. Anyway. Okay, so remember when we read that quote about Zolia? Well, I guess Zolia has been destroyed. 10,000 people have died. 10,000 people have died. Oh, now they're all arguing whether or not the leaflet is real. Violet's being a super genius examining the parchment. Whether or not they actually destroyed Zolia and the seat of Griffin Rider training. I don't care. See how much I invested I am in this? I don't care. Oh my god. You think only riders can be vicious? Words are just as capable of eviscerating someone as a blade. He's a master. Because, of course, Violet's the only one who understands how dangerous words are because she was supposed to be a scribe. So basically, what I think is the news is true, but we were not supposed to get the news. Somebody was sneaky and decided to relay all the news, but now they're going to deflect and do propaganda and say it's propaganda, but it's probably actually true. That's what it is. And see, here's the thing. It's very obvious. There's no it's just very obvious. So there's no like conflict here. It's just very obvious. Oh my god. This is dumb. Jack Barlow, the dude that she crushed with a mountain from last year, is still miraculously alive. Boy, if this doesn't sound like some George R.R. Martin ripoff shit, I don't know what does. First of all, this dude was crushed under a mountain, and he has been resurrected, mended, healed by this healer guy. Doesn't that sound kind of like what Qyburn does with Robert Strong? Strong. That is some Game of Thrones ripoff shit right there. I don't care what anyone says. That's some ripoff stuff. But that's how the chapter ends. Jack Barlow's still alive. What an uninteresting like resolution to that plot point. What's he been mending? What's he been doing? What's he been doing? All the secrets. What is he? What kind of experiments is he doing? He's bringing Jack Barlow back to life? Like, I don't know. That's lame. Could have been... You could have done something way cooler than that. Dude could have been making zombies or something. Nope. Wow. Huge disappointment for the resolution of that. Not that I really cared, but I mean, I was hoping it would at least be something interesting or cool or like horrifying. Couldn't it have been something like actually horrifying? Like what if they were breeding dragon human hybrids or something? I don't know. What a lame reveal. Man, what a lame reveal. Anyway, onwards to chapter 26. Here's a little quote. Menders are not healers. Healers are bound to the code of Crichton. I'm calling it Crichton. Sworn to aid all in time of need and never to harm a beating heart. Menders are riders. They are only sworn to the codex. They can as easily bring harm as heal. Major Frederick's Modern Guide for Healers. That's a dumb quote. Alright, anyway, chapter 26. Oh, and we got another F-bomb positioned in the stupidest, most juvenile, childish way. Okay. Also, what a boring name in like a fantasy universe. Jack Barlow. In a fantasy universe. Whatever. Whatever. Just read. Just read. You're never going to finish this book. Oh, and guess what? An outpost was attacked. Guess whose outpost was attacked, everyone? Just guess. All right, well, that was that chapter. Chapter 26. Zayden was wounded in the attack at Samara. Whatever it is. That's it. That was the whole chapter. Great. And she's like freaking out and leaves to go rush to Xaden. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. Onward. Chapter 27. By their 3rd year, a rider must attain full and complete control over their shields. Otherwise, in moments of extreme stress, they are susceptible to being not only influenced by their dragon's emotions, but controlled by them. Colonel Kaori's Field Guide to Dragonkind. And I'm assuming that this is the quote because Tarn is freaking out and Violet can't control her emotions because her emotions and Tarn's are all mixed up together because they're just so darned worried. And so Violet is like in denial about this. She's like, it's not me that wants to see Xaden, it's Tarn that wants to see Sgael. Like, just stop lying to yourself. It makes for very annoying reading because you've been lying to yourself for almost 300 pages now, and it's getting very frustrating. Sorry about that, everybody. Oh my god, Mira just said, your man is the reason why we still have an outpost. And then in her brain she goes, he's not my man. Not really. Oh, shut up. Shut up. He's not your man, but you are rushing to come and see him. But he's not your man. But you can't even think straight for fear that he is wounded. But he's not your man. Shut up. Oh my god, I forgot her dragon is called a Morning Star Tail. God, that's the dumbest shit. He smells like mint and leather and mine. For F's sake, am I scenting him? Jesus, this is gross. So Zayden did not get hurt. Zayden is fine. And then we get the stupidest exchange of all time. So apparently she freaked out because her dragon is freaked out and they have like a mental bond or whatever. So they go in the bathroom. Zayden shoves her in the shower, turns the water on really cold so she can focus. And then he's like, whose jacket is that? And she totally freaks out on him. And the language used, she literally sounds like she's 14. And now you pull some possessive, jealous, whose jacket is that BS just because your cousin knew I was so panicked that I wouldn't stop for my own flight leathers? I flat out glare at his nonsensical ass and drop the jacket to the floor. You can F right off. Does that sound like someone who's like 20? Well, maybe it does sound like someone in their 20s. I don't know. But like, ugh. Violet is so immature and stupid. I can't stand it. Ugh. Of course he doesn't get it. His life might depend on mine, but he doesn't feel the way I do about him. He wants me, even said he fell for me, but he's never said he loves me. I'm not mad at you for being hurt. I would never want you hurt. I'm pissed at myself for being so reckless, so wrapped up in you, having such little control over my emotions that I just ran after you like a lovesick little fool. And you're always calm, collected, and in control. You would have waited for all the information, and you sure as hell never, ever would have let Skyel's emotions take over. Like, oh my god. The melodrama of this. Ugh. And then he raises up his arm, and I guess he's got like this really like wicked injury. And she's like, oh, you really were wounded. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. So we're still in the shower. The water is still running, mind you. I'm not always calm or collected, and I'm never in control when it comes to you. Ew. It's not just the water warming me, she says. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys, this is terrible. Even now, I'm not doing what I should, which is hauling your ass to the mat until you're a hot, sweaty, aching mess from a dozen rounds of sparring. Because I warned you never to put your life at risk over something as trivial as talking to me, and yet you did just that. Again. I'm down with everything but the sparring. Shit. That comes out breathless. And it's not up to you to punish me anymore. I'm no longer in your chain of command. Oh, I know. And somehow it was a hell of a lot easier on us both when you were. You want full disclosure when it comes to me, right? How's this for open? His gaze dropped to my mouth. I would have done the same thing you did because I'm just as reckless for you as you are for me. This is disgustingly terrible. I can't. It's so cringy, Galaxy. It's so cringe. Oh my god, it's so bad. Now she's like in her head talking about how she wants him so badly. Oh, now we're kissing. That's exactly what I need. For him to need me. Oh my god. The feel of his tongue flicking against mine, then claiming, stroking, is a flame to a tinderbox, and I catch fire. That's a kissing description. Flicking, stroking. Gross. Gross. She's married and has kids and has written like 15 books. So I don't know. Hmm. And now they're naked, both of them, I guess. He knows exactly where I'm sensitive, and damn, does he use every bit of that knowledge, sucking and laving that spot at the side of my throat that melts my knees and makes my fingers curl against his skin. Zayden, I whimper, my hand sliding over the curve of his ass. Mine. This man is mine, at least for right now, even if it's just these next few minutes. Lord have mercy on my soul. Could the writing get any worse? Like, the writing is bad, and everyone says, like, the spicy parts are the good parts. That people read this for the spicy parts, and I'm like, this is not spicy. This is cringe. Now she's stroking him through the fabric of his pants. Oh my god, they're fighting now. They're fighting now about who's gonna say I love you and whether or not they're actually going to really be together, because he doesn't want to sleep with her unless they're actually going to be together, and she's... No, they're not adopted. I guess they're hers. I don't know. I really don't know much about her. I just know she has children. What does the back say? She is the mother of 6 children. There. This is the most melodramatic. They're like fighting about... I don't even know why they're fighting about their relationship anymore, because it doesn't even really make sense, because it started out with she couldn't be with him if he was going to keep secrets from her, but she still wanted to be able to have sex with him, and he was like, no, I'm not just going to sleep with you. I want all of you or none of you. And then he's like, I want the woman I fell for. It kills me every time I have to keep my hands off you. Every night I lie awake next to you, both blessed and damned with the memory of how hot, how wet, how effing perfect you feel when I'm losing myself in you. Melodrama. This reads like fan fiction. This makes no sense. I don't know what it's is it bad because the book is trying to be as spicy as possible or remain PG-13, or is it just bad? Yes. I honestly don't really know. I think it's possibly both. Because it is trying to not be like too explicit, but it is also badly written at the same time. I think. Gut feeling. And I just feel like I have a wing of hair that is just flying out all over the place. Why did I just tell me if this sentence, this like little exchange makes no sense, because I'm reading this and I'm going, what is this? This makes no sense. You want to fight for me? I reach up into my hair and pull the pins loose one by one, letting them fall to the stone floor. Then take a chance without knowing how I feel. You want my heart back? Risk yours. Risk yours first this time. I'll tell you how I feel right now. If I tell you how I feel right now, you'd never trust that I'm not just desperate for your body. Exactly my point. The last pin falls from my hair. Choose, Zayden. You can let me walk out that door, or you can be the one who takes what I'm willing to give this time. I shake my hair loose and run my fingers through the wet mass to unravel the braid. Are you trying to bring me to my knees, or win the argument? His hand flexes at my hip as his heated gaze sweeps over me. Yes, I answer, reaching for the ties at the small of my back that secure my armor. She got armor on and pants. Cannot visualize what she's wearing right now, but whatever. I just spent 8 hours terrified of what condition I'd find you in, and I'm telling you that I don't just want you, I need you. There are your 3 words. I tug the wet string and it gives. That's all you get. Take me or leave me. What did I just read? What is this? What did I just read? Yeah, she was just in the shower in her armor, I guess. Yes, they both are. I think it was supposed to be hot. Like, I think it was supposed to, like, set the scene of, like, it being hot because they're all wet. But it's not hot. It's honestly kind of just weird. I don't know. But that exchange, I'm not sure what the author's going for here, but it's not working for me. I can tell you that. It's not tense. It's not sexy. It's not conflict. I don't know what this is supposed to. I don't know. She starts to stroke him from root to tip. Does Zayden have a tree in his pants? Right. Because at this point, I'm just going to make fun of all of it because it's just all... There's nothing spicy about this. Let's go so I can get you naked. That's what he says to her. He takes off her armor, and a second later, he's sucking on her boob. Was she like bare chested with just the armor on? Were her nipples just rubbing against the armor? Does she not have anything on underneath there? Ow. Uncomfortable. Impractical. I feel like Andy Bernard needs to teach her a thing or two about how to protect your nipples. Oh, he's blocking the spray of water from her breasts. She called her vagina an entrance. See, we're like PG, very PG-13, but then we would use these weird euphemisms. That's why it's not spicy. It's just cringe and awkward. This is the longest sex scene of my life, too, by the way. Like, oh my god. It's just pages, and we haven't even penetrated. In case you saw the last video that we just put out. We haven't even penetrated. It's just pages of this. Oy, oy, oy. This is why this book is taking forever. Oy, oy, oy. Alright, where did I leave off? He's worshipping her breasts. Now he's worshipping them. This isn't our first time. It's not going to be our last either. No shit, that's why everyone reads these books, because apparently they think this stuff is hot. Hmm. Oh, we finally said cock. Finally did. Dan, you don't want me to read this to you. It's terrible. I read tidbits here and there. Hello, Dan. I read bits and pieces. You get sections if you want. This is just terrible. I'm sparing you. Oh my god. Um so we all remember that Violet has a disability, right? Each powerful stroke has me greedy for more. This is where I want to exist, with him above me, moving inside me, his focus totally, completely mine. Harder, deeper. I'm breathing too hard to speak. Don't treat me like I'm breakable. I know exactly how much you can take. I know, Dan. You love my irritation with things. Where have you been? You've missed so many live streams of pure, unadulterated irritation. By the way, they're in like a public. I don't. They're in a public bathroom. Anyone could walk in here at any point. I feel the need to express that. There is only the sound of water hitting the bench beside us and our bodies coming together again and again. Our hearts pounding. Don't do that. Our hearts pounding, breath strained between long, drugging kisses. Um, so, okay, here we go. We did it again. I want everything, Violet. You have it. His stubble scrapes my palms as I cup his face and kiss him. Lightning courses through me, building to a dangerous peak, and I don't need to ask. I know he has me. It releases with a snap, flaring bright outside the windows for a heartbeat before it's swallowed by shadows that stream out to smother it. Nothing shatters, nothing catches fire. He knows how my body reacts, how exactly to push me to the breaking point, and he has me covered when I explode. Every time we come. So is it that every time that there's a lightning storm, Violet's just coming like crazy? Is that it? Like, uh so everybody has like a superpower, like a superpower, and hers is that she can conjure lightning, and Zayden's is that he can summon shadows. It's very Shadow and Bone, if you ask me. Sorry about that. And so, um, she comes twice, so lightning strikes twice, and now Zayden comes. He finally shudders beneath me, his shadows blasting through the room. Rock cracks and water bursts from the aqueducts. They just broke the aqueducts. The plumbing is now screwed. Uh, that was the end of it. That was the end of it. That was literally an entire chapter of sex. Good lord, what did I just read? It wasn't even good sex. We got lightning shadow sex. I have a feeling that after all this great sexy time, they're gonna fight again, and Violet's gonna actually low-key be a dickhead like she's been this entire book. That was the first time they've banged in this book. They only banged twice in the last book. I also feel like, I think he came inside of her. So we're not using protection of any kind. So I have a feeling that at some point in this book series, maybe we're going to get pregnant. Maybe that's in the third book or the fourth one. I don't know. But we're not having protected sex. And that's, as far as I know. Anyway, I mean, maybe he didn't come inside her. I don't know. She says she felt him shuddering. So I think maybe he did. I don't know. I'm not sure. No, Voldy's cave is very subtle. What did I just read? You know what makes you not want to have sex? Reading bad, cringe sex. Ugh. Penises described like trees, lightning, shadows, stroking tongues. Apparently no undershirts when we wear armor. We're just raw dogging our nipples against our armor. Like, I don't even know. I mean, and even if that's not the case, maybe that's not the case, but it reads that way. So that's how the writing is. So, like, maybe she is wearing a tunic or something. You know, I don't know, but it's not described in the way that the text reads. That's how I interpret it. That is called not my brain having a problem, but your writing not flowing properly. God. What have I just read? Dear Lord. We're going to keep going, though. I mean, the nice thing about all these chapters is, for the most part, they're pretty short. So, and I am getting to be about halfway through the book. Mushroom, though, at least is like a classic description. Like, if you said mushroom, I at least, like, okay. Like, I can at least understand what you're going for, because, like, mushroom is, I don't know, just root to tip just made me laugh. I don't know. Honestly, made me think of Treebeard, and that's why it's not sexy, man, because I thought about Treebeard. It was literally an entire chapter. It took so long for them to even decide to have sex, and then it took so long for them to have sex, and I'm just like, I am not opposed to spice in a novel, but Jesus, write it well. For the love of Christ. All right, chapter 28. Let's move on. Let's just leave it there, cuz just leave it there. Chapter 28. Here's the quote. Though griffin riders are not capable of producing signets, they are not powerless. In fact, some would argue they've honed lesser magic, especially mind work, into the deadliest weapon of all. Underestimating them is an error. Griffins of Poromiel, a study in combat by Major Garion Savoy. Okay. You can say that all you want to, but I'm sorry. Griffin versus Dragon? For real? No contest. But anyway, let's continue on to chapter 28. Boy, if that's not a clunky segue into the next chapter. The thing about being two riders in an assumed relationship who happen to be bonded to a mated pair of dragons is that no one thinks twice about a midnight flight to get away, and there is no better view of the stars on the continent than from Tairn's back. Wow, what a sentence. Hello, Lil. Sorry, I had to scratch my nose for everyone to see. I just... Ugh. What a clunk of a sentence. Okay. So they're going to fly to get these daggers or something? I don't... they're going to get these daggers, I think. I wish the dragons were actual characters. They're not even really characters. So Zayden's meeting the Griffin Riders. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, so two of these Griffin Riders are very beautiful. Let's see. She looks to be my age. The quotes that start these chapters. Sometimes the best way to win a race is to trip the person in front of you. But then again, falling is always easier than running. Dude, that is so accurate. that is it straight up. Oh my god. Yeah, that is what those quotes are. I've been trying for the last 6 live streams to like put into perspective how I feel about these quotes, and that is literally what that galaxy, that is exactly what it is. I could not have said that better than that. I could not have said it better myself. My god. Anyway, she looks to be my age and shares enough of Serena's features that they could be related, cousins maybe, or even sisters. They have the same straight noses, full mouths, lithe builds, and glossy black hair that contrast their fair skin, though the younger one's is plaited in a simple braid over her shoulder. Her eyes are slightly larger, and her cheekbones are a little higher than Serena's. She's the kind of beautiful that would normally lead to positions in a king's court or on stage in the theaters of Chaldeer. The way she looks at Zayden isn't just doe-eyed. There's an unmistakable longing there, a hunger that has me blinking. It's like she's been trudging through a desert, and he's the oasis. Ugh. Oh boy, here it comes. I have a feeling this other girl, sorry, this other girl who also wears her hair in a braid, who's just so beautiful. I bet she's the ex that I've been waiting for this whole time, because I've had a feeling that there's going to be some ex showing up in this book, because why? Why wouldn't there be? The tone, the way she used his name, they definitely know each other. Cat. The younger girl's name is Cat. And now she knows that Violet's there, and she knows it's Violet Soaringale, and she's looking at her like she hates her. Oh boy. Yes, gentle, subtle. Tolkien too. Tolkien's descriptions are just ah. Oh my god. Here we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Catriona. There it is. That girl was the ex. And that's how the chapter ends. She realizes that the one girl who is being kind of a bee was Xaden's ex-girlfriend. Oh boy, now we have an ex-girlfriend in the mix. And that's the chapter end. Oh, I don't eat it. I won't eat it. Don't worry. Need all my wits about me. That was the end of the chapter. So now we're going to get an ex-girlfriend. And I assume it's going to be one more thing for Violet to be an absolute you-know-what about. And she's going to be like, why didn't you tell me? And blah, 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 blah. I bet money on it. Because this whole point of this chapter was not about the daggers or anything else. Because the whole conversation about the daggers and the wards and the blah, blah, blah was just kind of fluff for us to know that Xaden has an ex and she's beautiful. Kill me. Because the story really is all about just Xaden and Violet's love life. The whole war and the daggers and the everything else is just so peripheral that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you think about it too hard. And that's why there's like such little attention paid to how it's actually working. Because if I think about it too much, there's gonna be plot holes everywhere. Alright, that's only 10:10. Let's move on to the next chapter. Chapter 29, which is on page 263, in case anyone is reading this. And let's read the quote that Galaxy loves so much. Cadets who are found absent without leave will be subject to court-martial by their chain of command if they are not executed on sight. Article 4, Section 1, the Basgiath War College Code of Conduct. This one literally was what Galaxy said before. You'll be court-martialed unless you're just immediately killed. Okay. Alright, so let's see what's going on with the X. I imagine... Oops, excuse me. Sorry about that, everybody. I imagine it's going to be a terrible fight. Let's just see. Everything about this book is excessive. She's like feeling like jealous and insecure because Catriona is so beautiful. But yet the book is constantly telling us how perfect Violet is. Yep, Mary Sue and Mary Stew. Xaden's a bit of a Mary Stew. Gary Stew. Gary Stew. I'm getting tired, sorry. Viscount Takaris. Yeah, there's this whole thing with Viscount Takaris that's a part of this whole plot, and I don't know. She wants to talk about it, and he doesn't want to. Oh my god. So Viscount Takaris is willing to give the Luminary over if he gives Violet to him, or if he lets him see Violet wield lightning, because she's the first she's the first lightning wielder in a century. But he likes to collect precious things, so he won't just be satisfied with seeing it. He'll want to keep her. Whatever. God, I hate this plot. I hate everything about this book. It's so stupid. And now Violet's like, well, it's not your choice to make. Yeah, thank you. Yes, there's a collector. He actually sounds like an interesting character, but and I'm sure just like the torture guy, he probably won't be that interesting. Varish was my favorite character. He might even still be my favorite character, but even he's gotten boring. So, okay, they're communicating, I guess. And now she goes back to Basgiath. So here's the thing, Xaden is actually telling her more and more things, and Violet is like not telling him things. So it's just, I don't know. Here we go. Maybe it's that I finally feel like Xaden and I are really honestly trusting each other with more than just our bodies, even if he's not giving me full access, and his body is most definitely a perk. I'm deliciously sore from more than just the flight, as I dismount Terran at the end of the field to avoid the incoming landings as First Wing goes through third-year maneuvers. Yeah, you could find better writing from Star Wars books. I've read better Star Wars books. Or Star Trek. Sorry. Oh, now she she gets back and they're doing the gauntlet right on time to watch Liam's little sister, who is bad at everything, I guess. Blue black hair. Hello, Lil. Lil. Sorry, one of my kitties is here. Little Lil. And I'm petting her. Oh, I'm sorry. I say Lil. Ow. Lil. If he wants to torture me, I'll deal with it. What? What? Who says that? Okay, so Violet's clear of all charges. Varish is trying to catch her with something. He's very clearly like the Snape of the story, but he's not a very good one. Okay, so these little she has had like I don't know how many meetings with Varish at this point when she comes back from flight or staying with Zayden, and every time he looks through her bag and he like shit talks her, and every time she gets like saved by someone else and she gets out of whatever bullshit he's gonna do to her, and it happens again where she gets her butt saved and her friends are like, yo, what the F is going on? And Violet is finally like, okay, I'll tell you. Freaking finally. We've only been almost 300 pages in waiting for her to friggin' talk about this. I read the Jedi Apprentice books. Those were so good. Jedi Apprentice, highly recommend. Obi-Wan Kenobi training to be a Jedi under Qui-Gon Jinn, Ah, those books were great. I don't even really have anything bad to say about the last chapter other than it was boring. And again, like, we keep doing the same things over and over again. The same plot points over and over again. We've had like 5 of these meetings with Varys, and the outcome is still the same. When you really only needed... How many of these incidents did Harry have with Umbridge? But each one ended differently when different things happened. Like, it's literally the same thing with this character over and over and over again. I wonder if there's fan art out there about this dude. I'm gonna see real quick. Cause there's fan art for these books that I can't even... Yeah, there is fan art. I knew there was fan art. Because of course there is. I was just... Sorry, I just kind of had to peek a little bit to see if there was any fan art. I needed to... No, not a lot of Rule 34 fan art. It's actually like... I don't know. A lot of romantic-y looking stuff. Like, it's actually, like... I don't know. It's a lot of girls wanting to be Violet kind of fan art, and just that Violet is just so badass and so beautiful, and Xaden so hot, and blah blah blah. That's like all the fan art. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Let's try to get through one more chapter before I start going down the rabbit hole of fan art. You might see it in the background. Lily and the 2 rescue kittens are playing. All right. Galaxy, you ready for the next quote? You love these. Chapter 30. Chapter 30. We've reached a milestone here because there are 66 chapters. 66 chapters, and we are 3 chapters away from being halfway through all the chapters. Yeah, I know, 66. All right, chapter 30. Look, you ready? Barring invasion, only riders and designated scribes are permitted in the riders' quadrant. To enter uninvited as infantry or even healer is to welcome a swift death. Article 2, Section 3, the Basgiath War College Code of Conduct. Everything is always like, if you do this, you're gonna die. And if you don't die, you're gonna be severely punished. Or then maybe die. I don't know. All these quotes are the same. Alright, so... Violet tells them everything. Okay. Crazy fascists. I mean, these guys pretty much are there is some fascist energy to that. They're like a military government kind of a thing. There's definitely some, yeah. Anyway. And now she's like, and now she's like, she told him everything, and she's like, and you can hate me and be upset with me and everything, and I'm so sorry, and blah, blah, blah. And they're all like, we don't hate you. And she's like, I literally did to them what I was angry at Zayden for doing to me, and none of them are mad at me. Wow. Yeah, wow, Violet. Okay, so she tells her friends, and all of her friends are like, oh my god, we're gonna help you. And then they immediately all start coming up with great ideas. Shocker. She's like, we can read 4 times as fast, and blah, blah, blah. And then literally a page later, she goes, research goes a lot faster when 4 people are doing it. So they like are now not seeing each other for like the next couple of weeks, and it's just like, I thought they couldn't go more than 72 hours or they would die, but now here we are going like weeks without seeing each other because Violet broke too many rules. And she sets these rules and then doesn't follow through with them. Like she sets these rules for her magic system in her world and then doesn't follow them. And now we've just got time is passing, time is passing. Here we go. I haven't seen Sloane yet, and I need to leave to take over the watch soon. I sway back and forth nervously like a mother with a colicky newborn. I'll find time to get to the temple if you could just be with her, I promised Dun, the goddess of war. This girl Sloane has occupied about 0.2% of page space in this entire book, but Violet is so concerned about her doing well. This is Liam's little sister, but yet it has had nothing to do with any of the plot so far. Yeah, Sloane. Her name is Sloane. Also, where's the king's brother? The king's son hasn't shown up at all, even though he said he like knows about the vending and stuff. He just has disappeared from the plot. Um, Sorry, I'm getting Discord notifications. I'm sorry. This is just so boring. Hmm. Hmm. Some of this stuff had potential to be really interesting. Like when a person dies, they are burned and all of their possessions are burned. But there's no like real cultural context as to why they do that. But wouldn't it be cool if we got some? At least make it more interesting. Infantry's here. Oh, infantry's here. Like at the beginning of the chapter when they said infantry is... What did they say? Oh my god. Only during invasion is the infantry allowed in the riders quadrant. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see. Uh-oh. Now they're fighting. The girl that was in the academic building with her just got killed. There's blood everywhere. Oh no. Let's see. Wait, hang on. I see. Um, the way that she writes stuff, it's like hard to visualize shit in my head. So she's fighting. Um, the edge of the tower. She flies backwards and she like falls. It slips off the turret. I'm trying to... Clawing for purchase, I sail backwards, my skin grating against the rock to slow me down as I do, and the tips of my boots hit the edge of the turret, then slip right off. But the impact is enough to change the angle of my fall, and stone rushes up in my face for no longer than a heartbeat before my stomach collides with the edge of the turret, sealing what breath I have on impact. And then I guess she hangs on to the turret and is like hanging there, I think. I don't know. It's very hard to picture what's going on in my brain based on the descriptions. And then the one soldier comes out and says, "It's nothing personal, it's just money." His eyes bulge and he gurgles, grabbing for his throat and the dagger, whose tip protrudes a few inches below his chin. Someone has shoved their knife in through his spine. So the chapter ends with her hanging on for dear life off the edge of this turret. These soldiers are trying to kill her. for some reason, because everyone's trying to kill Violet Soaringale because she's just so darn special. You know what? I think we have time for one more. We definitely have time for one more. It's only like a page long. All right, let's just get through chapter 31 real quick. Let's just read chapter 31 real quick. You ready for that quote? This one's a gem. This one's a gem. This is such a good one. Galaxy's really gonna like this one. Chapter 31. Everyone thinks most riders cadets. Riders cadets. That is a... Okay. Whatever. Everyone thinks most riders cadets die from dragon fire. Truth be told, it's usually gravity that gets us. Page 47. The Book of Brennan. I don't know if I have thoughts, but yeah, that's the quote. That's the quote. Yes, truly inspiring. Anyway, chapter 31. Just process that for a minute. That quote. Jack Barlow just saved Violet's life. What a twist. I know this is a lot of quiet. Okay. So, Barlow, the dude that she killed last year, has just saved her life. Jackson, do not press any of the buttons, okay, sir? Please, don't do it. So she's like, you just saved my life. And he's like, yeah. Well, death was kind of a second chance for me. You don't know who you really are until you face down Malik. So the way I see it is I just gave you a second chance too. We're even. He nods once, then walks away, exiting the tower. This dude just killed a dude and just is like, yeah, okay, we're even. And then just leaves. What? What? Oh, so I guess the girl that just died was one of the other people who saw the Venin and the Wyverns. See, those characters that were all there, like, in the last book are so forgettable, I don't remember who they are. But apparently she was one of them, and now she's dead, so they're just picking them off one by one. Okay. Boy, guess what? So they found this sub vault where I guess all the secret books are hidden because there's a bunch of secret books hidden in the sub vault, I guess, which is where all the knowledge is that they want. And so her friend comes to find her and is like, "So, good news is we found the vault. Bad news, it needs to be opened by someone in the royal bloodline." And literally, this could be a potential conflict, but it is now not a potential conflict because then Violet is immediately like, "Oh, good thing we have a prince who hates his dad currently going to school here." Like, why didn't you save that reveal for later? Why didn't you have that be an actual problem that we need someone from the royal bloodline to get in? And then, like, you've just been, like, maybe friends with this other dude this whole time. And then you get the reveal that, like, oh, he's the prince. Like, that could have been, like, I don't know, an obstacle that they tried to overcome. Or maybe that's how the prince, maybe that's how the prince earns his way into their good graces or something. No, it's also like just to be able to write these like cool kitschy lines. Then it's a good thing we have access to a prince who happens to hate his father. It's just like ways to make Violet look like a super badass, and it just sucks. It's just lame. It's not great. But I think, let's see, what did we read today? Okay, I actually read like 30 pages tonight. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think I try to look at this map sometimes to try to figure out like where everything is. But it, like, just doesn't even matter, really. Like, none of it really matters. Yeah, I don't know. None of it really matters. You want to know what the quote is up at the top? Yeah, there's a world map. It's not great, though. It's, like, such a... It's so copy-paste, generic fantasy map. It's not great. But in the dust jacket in the very front, since we're right here, the dust jacket gives like the blurb, which maybe I should have read before I started reading this book. Then everyone would know. The first year is when some of us lose our lives. The second year is when the rest of us lose our humanity. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's no effort in the map, in the world building, in any of it. It's really just all about Xaden and Violet and right? Everyone expected Violet Sorrengail to die during her first year at Basgiath War College, Violet included, but threshing was only the first impossible test meant to weed out the weak-willed, the unworthy, and the unlucky. Now the real training begins, and Violet's already wondering how she'll get through. It's not just that it's grueling and maliciously brutal, or even that it's designed to stretch the rider's capacity for pain beyond endurance. It's the new vice commandant, who's made it his personal mission to teach Violet exactly how powerless she is, unless she betrays the man she loves. Although Violet's body might be weaker and frailer than everyone else's, she still has her wits and a will of iron, and leadership is forgetting the most important lesson Basgiath has taught her. Dragon riders make their own rules. But a determination to survive won't be enough this year, because Violet knows the real secret, hidden for centuries at Basgiath College, and nothing, not even Dragonfire, may be enough to save them in the end. That's the blurb. I guess I should have read that like before. Don't do a drinking game for cliches. No, I can't. I can't read this book and drink at the same time. I can't. I'll be too shit-faced in like 15 minutes. I'll read one chapter and then I'll be shit-faced. Yeah, so I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight, just because it is almost 11. And look, that's how far we are, y'all. We got that much more book left to read. That much more book. We are a little less than halfway through. We are 40-ish pages away from being halfway through. So yeah. We're just gonna leave it there. The prince is probably gonna join our merry gang of students. Maybe Sloane will probably pop up somewhere in there. Varish is... This is the thing, the whole thing. The vice commandant is trying to teach Violet how powerless she is. He literally hasn't done anything to her, because every time he's about to do something to her, something happens and she gets out of it. So I don't know why he's like so terrible. She keeps setting the stage for all these things to happen. And then things don't happen. There's like no conflicts in this book whatsoever, except for the Xaden conflict, the undying Xaden conflict. I would also just like something interesting in this book to happen. This whole weird Jack Barlow returning from the dead thing is bizarre and kind of dumb. Xaden and Violet, now the X. I bet the X is going to end up actually being a problem, because why wouldn't it be? I really think the X is going to be an issue. Yeah, I don't know. It's still terrible. Book is still terrible. It's not going to get any better. I don't know. I like that you guys all are enjoying me ranting about it for an hour and a half to 2 hours at a time. I do enjoy hanging out and talking with all of you. That is fun. Hi, Lil. They saw your butt, Lil. Your butt was out. Lil. I don't even know. I don't really have much thought in my brain about this whole section that we just read. These 30 pages. It just still feels like not much has happened, but so many pages. So many pages of like it's been 30 pages and barely any shit has happened. Biggs will be back on the stream, I guess, whenever we do like something different to stream. The Iron Flame stuff is just kind of like a me thing. That I'm doing. I mean, I can certainly ask him if he wants to come in and hang out the next time I do this. But we do have to like maybe come up with another idea for a different stream, and he'll definitely pop in. I can tell him that you miss him and you want him back. Read more random Harry Potter chapters. We could certainly do that. I've just been trying to kind of do these when I can do these, because this book is so effing huge and I kind of just want to finish it. There goes Lil again. But we can certainly break it up a little bit and do some other things. So I will discuss and we'll see what we can figure out. But I think that's it for me for tonight. I'm going to end the stream and maybe take a look at some of the comments and maybe answer some comments, because we haven't been that great about it lately, and we do kind of have a few comments. So I'm gonna maybe check them out. But thank you for everyone who popped in here to listen and participate and all that stuff. And we will see you next time we stream. Keep an eye out on the Discord. We'll announce when we're going to stream again. Have a good night, Dan. Have a good night, Galaxy Studios, and we'll see you soon. Bye.